Today I'd like to go over fishing with yo-yos. There's been a lot of questions about fishing with yo-yos, what they are, how they work, and are they good to carry like in your pack or your bag or to utilize in an emergency survival type situation. They're a very effective way to catch fish. They're a very effective way to catch a lot of fish. I fish with them in the springtime a lot when the crappie are spawning. I use a lot of the same things with fishing with yo-yos as I do with my trot lines. When the crappie spawn is over, I'll switch over to my trot line, and that's when I'll start fishing for catfish. But the two ways are very similar in the fact that the object is to catch a lot of fish. The first thing I want to say about fishing with yo-yos is check with your fish regulations and make sure that it is legal to fish with yo-yos in your area. They are not legal in all 50 states. So I don't want anybody getting in trouble. Make sure that it's legal to fish with yo-yos where you actually are. With that being said, let's move the camera over here. We'll learn a little bit about what a yo-yo is, how it works, and how I like to fish with them. Now, these yo-yos are very simple. They're a reel or a spool that's spring-loaded. They have your fishing line on there, and they have a hook attached. They've got this wire bail that's a trigger or a catch. All you have to do is bait your hook, set this fishing line out to the desired depth that you want to fish at. Then set the trigger into one of these notches. Now you're ready to fish. When a fish strikes or bites your bait, it will trip the trigger, and then it will set the hook due to its spring tension. Then the spring will continue to play this fish until it tires, and then the fish will simply be pulled to the top of the water attached to the hook. Now, as far as these hooks, the way I rig these things up is I attach this barrel swivel on here. On the barrel swivel, it has a quick clip that my hook is on. If I have a fish that's hung up for some reason on this hook, I simply disconnect this hook, throw the fish in the live well or the ice chest or what have you, and then put another hook in its place, rebait it, reset the trigger, and I'm back fishing again. The key to catching a lot of fish is making sure that you can do everything quick and efficiently, making sure that everything is organized. Now, the way you hang these is we normally will hang them from an overhanging limb or a boat dock or whatever's available. Now, I utilize these trot line clips. These are for your drop lines on a trot line setup. They're simply a spring clip that has a hook on them. You just squeeze them together and it opens the hook. Now, you just come up to an overhanging limb, wrap your line around the limb, open the hook, attach it to the limb, and you're ready to fish. Very simple to set up and very simple to take back down. That's the key to catching a lot of fish, is making sure that you don't have to fool around a lot with all of your equipment, making everything organized. That's why I have this bucket. The bucket keeps everything in line, everything in order. You don't want your yo-yos all balled up in the bottom of your boat in the middle of the night. I run these a lot at night. I'll run these things all night long. I'll run my trot lines all night long. If you've got them in a bucket, everything is there organized. You can just go through, pick one out, hang it on a limb, go to the next one. Pick one out, hang it on a limb. You get the idea. The other thing is when you get a bunch of these out, in the middle of the night, it's going to be hard to find them. So what I do with them is I put a square of reflective tape on here. That way, when they're out, you've got 75 or 100 of these things, and you're in a backwater, you're in a swamp or an oxbow lake, these things are going to be hanging from the trees, and they're going to be out there, and when you shine a spotlight, it's going to look like Christmas lights out there. You can find your fish, you can find your yo-yos, you're not going to be losing your yo-yos. One other thing that we have here in Arkansas is a tip for you, is we have to either put our license number on the back of here, or we have to put our name and address on the back of here to be legal. So what I've done is Ducks Unlimited sends me these return address labels that you would affix to a letter. Well, I simply just take these little return address labels and I stick it to the back of my yo-yo. That makes me legal right there. I've got my name and my address. Everything's good to go. I don't have to take a Sharpie and write all of this out, my name and address, and I really don't want my driver's license number hanging on all these yo-yos out there. So there's a couple of quick, effective ways to utilize yo-yos for fishing. You've got quick disconnects on your hooks. You've got quick disconnects to set them up, and you can see how they can land fish. A really effective way that you can catch a lot of fish.